Hello, welcome to our final episode. It's been an amazing 9 weeks. 9 weeks, 9 episodes, sharing the journey of how I went from living in a caravan and flat broke to millionaire, multi-7-figure business, assets, passive income streams, and all of the incredible things that the last 5 years has brought James and I. I've been breaking it down step by step and talking to you guys about what happened, what I had to learn, who I had to become. Hey Lynn, how are you doing? And tonight's the finale and I'm so excited to share it with you. Let me know who is logging in tonight by saying hey in the chat box. Hey Jackie. Hey Lynn, how you doing my love? Kerry, good evening. Hey Rebecca, hey Jenny, hey Chantel, so nice to see all of you. If you're brand new to my world and you're just finding me for the first time, then let me know you're a newbie. Hey Natalie, or even if you've just kind of recently found me and we're just getting to know each other. Hey Kate, good evening. Let me know in the chat box by saying, I'm a newbie. Hey Isma, good evening. And if you're a well-established, hey Caro, good evening. Hey Donna, hello. If you're a well-established part of the tribe and you've been in my world and I've been in yours for a long time now, hey Angie, hey Kaylee, then say hey. I would expect you to do that anyway because we're friends. Hey Alison, how you doing? Hey Sarah, I'm going to stop saying hello now and dive in. Hey Leanne, how you doing my love? So I know a lot of you are really excited about our giveaway. The biggest giveaway, the most special giveaway I've ever done. Natalie's a newbie. Everyone say hey to Natalie. How you doing? Nice to see you here, Natalie. Everyone say hey to Chantel as well, and Alison. 3 newbies. Welcome to the tribe. I'm really excited about the giveaway today and the finale of that, because as those of you that have been following for a while will know, James and I, 18 months ago now, purchased our dream property in Spain, in Andalusia, in the mountains, in cash. And that was a big milestone for us because, you know, following these journeys, going from broke and worrying about how we're going to pay the bills to having no bills has been a big step in the direction of freedom and fulfillment and full potential. And in the process of doing that, we turned this property into a gorgeous retreat venue where people can come and experience really quite unique retreats, some of them business and some of them spiritual retreats, because as you know, I'm a blend of both of those things. And we've also opened it up for people to take vacations and book on a night-by-night basis. And when COVID has done once and for all, we're really looking forward to welcoming people into our Spanish home to really enjoy it and enjoy what we've created there. And if you don't know what that looks like, you can have a look at that retreat place. There's a Facebook page that you can go and follow for further updates. But we're giving away a weekend break for 2 people in one of our suites overlooking the infinity pool and the mountains, and you don't have to pay anything for your stay with us because we're going to give it to you for free as part of this epic Christmas giveaway, our gift from James and I to you. And here's what you do to win. It's really simple. If, as I'm talking tonight, you feel at any point called to share what I've got to say with other people, then you're going to be entered into the prize draw for a weekend stay. And that means that you will have shared this video and you will commented to say you've shared it, because I don't know who shared. I just see the amount of shares, but it's difficult to tell who's done the sharing. So make sure you comment telling me you've shared it so that I know to enter you into the prize draw. And for bonus points, you can also tag someone specifically that you know who's a woman in business that you think would benefit from the advice of a millionaire mentor that mixes business strategy and spirituality in a really no bullshit way. If you think somebody in your life would benefit from that and you think this will make their world a better place today, then you can tag them and tell them why. Hey Karina, tell them what you thought of them. Tell them why you think it would be a good idea for me to be in their life and them to be in mine. Because we tag sometimes to enter competitions, we share, but let's tell people why. Let's be really meaningful in that new connection that we're being part of forming. So that's how you get your name added into the That Retreat Place weekend giveaway. And this is for you and whoever you choose to bring with you, so you and a +1. And we will be announcing the winner. Now, it was initially going to be today, but that meant that people catching up over the Christmas period with the 9-week live series that I've been running, because I appreciate that you guys are busy, you know, you're kick-ass, amazing, multi-talented, busy women in business, and you might not have been catching every episode. And over the Christmas period, when you've got a little bit of downtime and you're full of turkey and sick of your family, you might want to go ahead and binge me like Netflix and catch up on the last 9 weeks. And I want to make sure that those of you that do that have the opportunity to be entered into this weekend giveaway. So we're extending the giveaway. So we're going to announce the winner in the new year. We're going to announce it on Monday the 4th of January. So that if you're watching this on replay, let me know in the comments, by the way, by saying that you're watching on replay. So if you're watching on replay and you're listening to this thinking, I would have loved to have been included in that prize draw, you still can. So we will be announcing it on Monday the 4th. So just bear that in mind when you're entering by sharing and tagging somebody that you know for bonus points, that you will still be entered into this up until the 4th of January. Now we're adding a little something in as well. So you will receive an entry for every new person that you tag. You can only share once, really, and do it effectively. So you share, that's the point, an entry. And then every person that you help improve the life and business of by tagging in the video and letting them know why you tagged them, I will also give you an extra entry. So the more entries, the more chance of winning. So get tagging and get sharing. And let's dive in to tonight's topic. Throughout the last 9 weeks of reflecting and dissecting, because it has been a real journey of reflection and kind of looking back and connecting the dots backwards and thinking, what were the things that made the biggest difference in achieving really fast success versus people that struggle for years and years and years and never quite get their business off the ground or never quite earn the income that's possible for them. Like, what's been the big difference? And what came up this week as being something that absolutely needed to be shared and talked through in some detail was the goal setting and planning aspect of success, because we are approaching the end of a new year, which means we're approaching the start of a fresh year and a blank canvas that you can use to create, be, have, whatever you desire. And I don't say that in a flaky, sort of fluffy way. I mean it. You know, I mean it from the bottom of my heart that 2021 for all of you, regardless of what 2020 was like, regardless of your track record of success, income that you've earned or not earned before, achievements that you've had or not had before, none of that's relevant in the future. The past does not equal the present. The past does not equal the future. It absolutely shapes the way we think and feel about success and money. And it can tell you some pretty shit stories about what's possible for you for next year, but it's not truth. Truth is, universal truth is, divine truth is that you are capable of achieving everything that's on your mind and in your heart, and even things that feel a little bit silly when you dare to dream them. They're possible. They're not just possible, they are meant for you. I don't believe we're put on this planet for a human experience to struggle. I don't believe we were put on this planet as having a human experience to sacrifice ourselves. I don't believe that mediocrity makes you a good person, and nor do I believe we should wear it as a badge of honour. I believe that when you rise up and do something extraordinary, you inspire other people to do that too, and that is absolutely what you are here to do. You're here to light the way for other people to live an extraordinary life, to live a life of potential, of contribution, of impact, because we only are really stepping into who we truly are when we're living from that place, when we're playing small, when we're shrinking our goals, when we're telling ourselves we can't or something's unobtainable. We're not living from our source, we're not living from our soul, from our true potential. And when we start living from that place, everything transforms. When we live from that place with a plan and with very clear goals and intentions, backed up by clear actions that we need to take to achieve them, and we're tapped into the source of everything, and we're tapped into our infinite potential, that's where success with ease really comes from. And I had to learn this the hard way. I had to get it wrong a lot so that I could make it right. When it comes to a planning system that works, a goal setting system that worked for me, that I could use on rinse and repeat every year to create and continue to create and progress year on year. I see so many people struggle with this. I see people get lost in vision boards that look pretty but have no substance to them. Goals that are set that lack belief and commitment, and therefore materialising to nothing. Or goals that are set very clearly, but not backed up by a planning system, an organisation system that works, that sees you progress towards those goals. And there is nothing more frustrating than every year setting goals that you immediately feel are unobtainable when you've set them. There's nothing more frustrating, and there's nothing more soul destroying than that. I want 2021 for you to be completely different to every other year. I want it to be the year that everything you intend to happen happens. Every goal you set, you hit. Everything you want to be, have and create, you become. That's what 2021 can look like for you. Now, how did I get this wrong previously? What have I learned from it, and what's the system to getting it right? Let's go there. Don't forget, if you're just logging in, if you think at any point that what I'm saying is valuable and can help someone else, then hit the share button and tag somebody that you feel will be better off for being in my world and for me being in theirs. And for doing that, I'm going to reward you with, for every tag and every share, and enter into our prize draw to come to that retreat place and spend a weekend in my home on me. So, planning systems. I remember quite clearly waking up one New Year's Eve, just a few years ago. It would be 6 years ago now, because it was a year before we moved into the Caravan and a year before this story started. And it was New Year's Eve, and I just felt nothing but dread. I didn't feel excited about the year ahead as much as I could have. I had short-lived excitement and short-lived inspiration that was a bit like a little bit of a fire trying to light and then kept being put out. That's how it felt. I felt really overwhelmed because I knew what I wanted, kind of, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. I knew a lot more about what I didn't want. Didn't want to feel the way I'd been feeling. I didn't want to live my life the way I'd been living it. And it was perpetuated that day by the fact that I woke up feeling really tired, feeling completely worn out by the year that James and I had had in business and the turbulent ups and downs that we'd had financially and the worry, and it was all taking its toll. And because I'd tried to outwork that, I felt really out of balance and burned out. I didn't recognise at the time that it was burnout I was feeling. Everything just felt a bit blah. And I woke up, and that night we'd been invited to our neighbour's house for a meal to see the new year in. We were just having like a low-key one. And I got out of bed, I went downstairs, I opened the fridge, there was no milk to make my morning brew. I'm sat here with one now. My tea is everything. I'm proper English. I love my cup of tea. It solves all problems. I'm gonna have a sip now. Talking about it's made me really want it. And my morning brew is the brew of all brews. I don't function without it. I open the fridge, there's no milk.
You don't make it.
Because, shush. He says you don't make it either. Well, clearly I did that day because it was me opening the fridge looking for the milk. But he's right. Most days he brings it to me in bed. I'm very lucky.
Most days.
All days now. Pipe down. You're not involved in this. So I do apologise for James's little outbursts this evening. So on this particular day, I had no milk. And it was just the tip of the iceberg, because the reason I had no milk is because I hadn't been shopping. Didn't have any much food to eat either. Because I was just work. Because I was trying to outwork my problems. I was trying to work through my challenges. I also looked at the dogs and they needed walking. And I was looking at the time thinking the dogs need walking. I haven't got time. I've got to be on a meeting for this time. I can't even have a brew. I went upstairs, opened my wardrobe to get some clothes to wear that day, and nothing was ironed. The pile of ironing was stacking high, and I just felt like a fucking failure in every area. I was working harder than I'd ever worked in my life. I was earning pennies in comparison what I needed to earn to make sure all of our bills and needs were taken care of. I felt like I was failing as a homeowner and a woman with her shit together that had the ironing done and clothes to wear and shopping in the fridge, and a mother to fur babies that needed walking and I didn't have time to walk them, and a wife that had a sex drive. And I'm being real with you, like all of that was out the window because I was consumed by needing my business to work and needing to have success. Is it because I didn't have time? No. I had 24 hours in the day, like you have 24 hours in the day. It's just what I was doing with them weren't productive. And I didn't have a planning system that helped me get the most out of my time. That's what was lacking. That's what was necessary. That's what was needed. And rather than trying to work harder, I needed to plan more, organise more, make sure my time went into the right place. So that night, I made a decision. I was going to lock myself away until we needed to go to the neighbours to celebrate New Year, and I was just going to sort that shit out. I was going to create a planning system and an organisation system that actually worked for me. Because up until that point, I dabbled with to-do lists and different planners, and I'd never really found something that worked, but I'd never really given myself to the task of making it work either, because everything was rushed and everything was frantic. And you have to pause when everything feels chaos and frantic. Just stop. Only you can stop that vicious cycle that you're in. And I had to stop it that night and go, enough. Enough. It changes today. I am not going into a new year like this. And that's what I did. I sat down and I created the mother of all planning systems that's simple and effective, and it works. Not just for me, it works for all of the hundreds of women that I've coached through this process. And yes, you might want to tweak and add your stamp to it, but the structure of it is dynamite when it comes to going into a new year feeling in control and calm and balanced. And here's how it goes. So the first thing you need to do is get a blank piece of paper and a pen. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I would recommend doing this on like a notebook like this that's a bit, it's not like your best piece of stationery. We're just going to scribble to begin with. The first thing you're going to write down is, what areas of my life are important for me to thrive in? Write that down. What areas of my life are important for me to thrive in? There's no right or wrong answer to this question. These are your priorities. This is what makes you whole. This is what you need to include for you to be completely fulfilled, because you're a businesswoman. I know, but business is only a piece of the pie. It's not the whole pie. You're probably a mum, a wife, a daughter, a homeowner. There's lots of parts to you that need to be considered when creating a planning system that works for you and when setting goals. So write down the categories of your life that need to be included and considered for you to be a well-rounded, happy female entrepreneur. So some of mine, for example, some of my categories are my spirituality, my spiritual growth. That's important. When I felt like how I just described back then 6 years ago, I didn't give myself enough time to work on that side of myself. Therefore, I couldn't hear when God, angels were giving me guidance. I couldn't hear when my intuition was trying to alert me to something. I couldn't hear any of it because I was just too low vibration and tired to be anywhere near the frequency that I needed to be to receive. Finances might be another part of your life. Money, it's important and you deserve to be abundant. So money and finances might be another category. Business is going to be a category. You're a female entrepreneur, it's going to be a slice of the pie. Family might be another. Sex and your relationship might be another. Your personal image and the way you feel about you might be another. When you have your categories, the second step is to set a goal, just one goal for each. And that's hard. When I tell people it can only be one goal for each, they're like, but I've got 5 in this and 3 in this. But if you set too many goals, you will feel more overwhelmed by your hopes and dreams than you do motivated by them. And that's not a good place to start the year. Just pick one. You might start with a few and have to whittle it down to one. You might have 5, but then you realise that you can set one goal that will see you achieve all 5 of those in that category. So it's really important that it's one goal for each category that is tangible, that is specific, that can be measured. It can't be a feeling. We are going to set feel goals, but not yet. It can't be a feeling. It has to be something that you will know when you've hit it. So if one of yours, like mine, is the way you feel about you and your personal image, if that's one of the considerations that needs to be one of your categories for you to be a well-rounded, happy in all areas individual, then what's the goal that sits underneath it that knows you will have progressed in that area, that will tell you, that will give you a clear indication on whether you've progressed in that area? So when I do this, when I'd done this process for 2021, I realised that every other year I'd set goals about weight, that I wanted to be a different weight, and that I was always setting goals to lose weight, and therefore I was measuring myself by the scales. But I decided to change that because it never made me feel good. It made me feel more restricted and hard on myself as a woman about what I put in my mouth and calorie controlling and weighing myself, and it wasn't serving me in terms of happiness. So I decided this year to set a goal in maintaining a dress size, that I would just want to be a size 10 to 12 for the rest of the year, and I'll be okay with that, because this year for me is about having a family. And I appreciate I might not maintain 10 to 12 whilst I'm pregnant, but around that, you know, my goal is staying healthy and feeling good, but it's not going to be to lose weight and to force myself into a restrictive diet the way I have all the years, because I've learned from that. But it has to be measurable. It can't be to feel good in my clothes, because I might feel good in my clothes today, and then next week when I'm due on and suffering with premenstrual tension, I feel shit in my clothes and nothing's changed in my body, but everything's changed in here. So it's not tangible, it's not measurable. Everything needs to be measurable. When it comes to your business category, What specifically, what one thing in your business needs to be different next year, or what one thing do you need to achieve to let you know that you're progressing at a good rate? And it might be that you want to have had X amount of clients, you want to have turned over a certain amount of money, you want to have done a certain amount of profit by the end of the year. It needs to be extremely tangible. When it comes to finance and money, it might be that you want to have a certain income consistently every month by the end of the year. It might be you want to have a certain amount of money in savings by the end of the year. But it needs to be one thing, and it needs to be really, really tangible. And then we're going to create a master plan for success off the back of these categories and the goals that you've set underneath each category. So by now in this process, and you might want to pause this video and watch it back on replay to do this process. You know, you're not going to do it necessarily now with me because it's going to take you a good few hours, and you want to really give yourself the time that you need for this. But at this stage in the process, you've now got categories that consider all of the areas that you need to be fulfilled as a female entrepreneur. Then you're going to have a very clear, tangible, measurable goal for each category written out. You can now transfer that information to your planner. Once you've thrashed it out and scribbled things out and decided on new things, now it's ready to transfer into the pretty stationery. But now we need to create a master plan. And again, I would do the master plan on your stationery first, so you can then transfer it across into the diary or planner. So the master plan takes each category and breaks down the activity you need to do in order to achieve the goal that you'd set for that category. For example, let's say that one of your goals is to lose weight next year. What things do you need to consider to make sure you stay on track for that goal? So it might be, I need to make sure I do a healthy food shop once a week so I can go and get fresh vegetables, because I know that I eat crap when the cupboards are running dry and I just reach for snacks. It might be I need to have a commitment to work out 3 times a week. And that goes under the category of that goal. So you've got the goal at the top that says achieve X, Y, Z, 10 stone 5 by December, and then underneath you've got the things that you need to do in order to achieve that goal. And keep it as simple as possible. Don't overcommit and underdeliver for yourself, because you damage trust with yourself. You damage the relationship you have with yourself. You start arguing with yourself when you over-deliver and over-promise and under-deliver for yourself. You set yourself up for failure and then beat yourself up for failing. Keep it simple. At every stage, stand back and say, am I committed to this? Is it achievable for me? Is it sustainable for me long term? And if the answer is yes, then set it as an activity that you're going to be doing to achieve that goal. So what you're going to end up with by the time you've gone through each category is you're going to have a checklist of things to do and to consider when planning your week underneath each category. So you're going to have health and fitness, and you're going to have a list of things. You're going to have business, and you're going to have a list of things. You're going to have self-development or spiritual growth and a list of things, relationships. And you're going to have different activities that you're going to commit to for each category that help you to become a well-rounded achiever in all areas of your life. And this is what I call the master plan. The master plan goes in the planner. Once you've said, right, okay, these are the things I commit to, these are the things I need to consider, they go in the planner. So I'll show you. I'm going to show you which planner I used last year. It worked for me incredibly. I get asked this question all the time, what do you use to plan with? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that now, and how we take this information and turn it into a week by week working plan that we can execute easily. So personally, I like to have it in the front or the back of my planner. So I'm not going to show you what's on it, but it's there. You can see the categories and then the list of things under each category. So my categories for 2020 were life, health and happiness. So they were in one category. So things that make me feel healthy and happy. Sales and marketing was another category, which obviously falls under business. Client care was another category that falls under business. So I broke down my business categories, which you can do too, depending on how established your business is, you might need to. Self-progression, spiritual development, family and relationships. So under each category, you then have the list of things that you need to consider. Now, this is the master plan. So each week, when you've carved out, which is a necessity for you to carve out time each week or each month, depending on what works for you, to plan your time, to actually look at the week. You can see what my planner and an average week looks like. Empty diary, empty planner, empty bank account. Fact. But how do you know what to put in it? That's what most people say to me. My diary is empty. My planner is empty. I say diary because I'm English and we say that. So I know some countries laugh when we say that because they're like, oh, a diary is what you like write all your thoughts in, like a journal. A planner is what you plan your time in. I get that. But I will say diary a lot and slip up on that because it's what I call it. But why have you got an empty diary, empty planner? Lots of people tell me the reason for that is because they don't know what to plan. They don't know how to plan. They're like, what do I put in it? How do I know what activities to put in it? Well, now you know, because the master plan tells you. So if you decide the first Sunday of every month or the first Monday of every month, which is what I do, I am going to plan my month. I'm going to make sure that in my planner, in my diary, is the things that I need to consider to move my business forward, to move my life forward. And to make sure those things are in there is your master plan. Because the things that you agreed with yourself at the start of the year, the goals you set for yourself in each category of your life, and the things that you said you were going to do to make sure you hit them, you can then just cast your eyes over and say, right, in here it says healthy food shop once a week to make sure that I've got fruit and veg in the fridge. So for the next month, what day and time am I going to do the food shop? How am I going to put it in my planner in a way that sees that it gets done? And I find that if things don't have times and days next to them, they don't get done because you find it too easy to move on and move things around and ignore things. That is why to-do lists don't work for most people, because we find it too easy to not achieve the things on the to-do list because there's not a date and time and a commitment on when they're going to happen. And goals and activities that we set without deadlines and times and they lack commitment. So putting it into a planner with your business, if it says, I'm going to post on social media every day because one of your goals in business is to have X amount of sales, then every day it should say in your planner every single day, so you physically have to look at it and tick it off. Post on social media. When are you going to create the content for social media? That's in the planner. If it says you're going to do live videos to create awareness around your offer and your personal brand, when are they going to happen? If it says monthly, then when you're planning out that month, you make sure it's in there. So the planner, you can see, like, this is what my planner has looked like for this entire year. There's not a week, except for the weeks that I'm on a holiday, that it's not really clear where my time's going and it gets ticked up, because otherwise you set goals at the start of the year and the action isn't in alignment with the goal, because life happens and we get pushed from pillar to post and priorities change and shift, and it's easy to lose sight if you don't have the master plan that dictates the monthly plan, that dictates the weekly plan, that dictates the daily action. That's what builds businesses, with structure. Now, I know that a lot of you are intuitive and you want to be flexible and you want to be able to receive divine guidance and do something that you feel called to do spontaneously and intuitively, and that's okay. That's fine in the parameters of your structure. But if you lose your structure and go all one way, you end up losing sight of your goals and the plan to hit them. Equally, if you keep the structure and lose your intuition and your divine guidance, you end up achieving in a way that feels difficult and burning out. But in the middle is somewhere the sweet spot. This is the planner I used last year, the Law of Attraction planner. I'll tell you why I love it, and I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing next year. So I love it because, A, the way it feels. To me, high standard, means high standard in everything. It means everything I touch on a daily basis in my business makes me feel abundant. Therefore, having a planner that makes me feel that way is really important. It's leather, it's just beautiful. When you feel like you've had something really special through the post when it arrives. It comes in lots of different colours, so you can choose from your colour. It's just big enough. It's in between A4 and A5, so it's just big enough to be able to have enough space to write everything that needs to be planned on a daily basis, but it's not so big that you over plan, because that's important, that you don't over plan. As I talked about, when you're putting your master plan together, you don't over promise and under deliver. It's got room to put your master plan in the front. It tells you every month, and I don't get paid for saying this, by the way. There is no link or affiliate payment. I'm just telling you because it works for me. There's pages to reflect on your month and decide what you're going to do differently, and it really gets you thinking. Because do you know what? Part of being a great entrepreneur is reflecting and saying what's worked, what hasn't worked, what do we need to do differently, what will be different, why will it be different, and it prompts you to answer these questions, so that when you're planning your next month, you may start changing the master plan, and that's okay, because you can be flexible, but we're being conscious. We're not just not doing something because it's gone off our radar. We're deciding to do something different for a valid reason, and that brings an entirely different energy and an entirely different result. Going into next year, I had already bought the next Law of Attraction planner for 2021, because if something's working, why change it, right? But a beautiful soul has reached out to the team and I recently and offered me the absolute privilege of testing a brand new planner that's hitting the market in 2021 that I'm told is going to be even better than this. So that came through the post last week. I'm not going to tell you what it is, or because I wouldn't share something unless I have absolute experience and my own personal success and story with it. I get asked to share and promote products all the time, and the answer is always no. I will not sell out on the people that follow me for help by recommending something that I can't, hand on my heart, tell you is the best thing for you. So I can't tell you that yet, which is why I'm not going to share it with you yet, but I just want you to know that in the background I'm testing something that's new alongside what I already know works. So there may be that I start telling you about that when I've tested it early next year, so you can have a look at the new planner and journal that I potentially may use in the future. But for now, with experience, that is my recommendation for you, and you can get them on Amazon. So, very quick overview of the things that I feel you really need to take away from today, so that we can end the year knowing that 2021 is going to be everything it can be for you. Number one, you need to come to that retreat place. And you're welcome anytime, but coming for free would be pretty special. So if you haven't already entered our competition for you to get a weekend break for you and a +1, then you know what you need to do probably by now, unless you're just logging in which case I'll very quickly recap for you. You need to share if you feel like what I'm saying is valuable and will help other people. You also need to comment and tell me you've shared, so that I know to enter you into the prize draw. You also need to tag somebody or people that you think will get value from what I've got to say, because they are a female entrepreneur that wants 2021 to be epic, and you think they would benefit from being in my world and them in mine. Every time you tag a new person and let them know why you think they should follow and be part of my world, and why you think I've got value to add to their life, you will receive another entry into the prize draw. So the more people you share and the more value you add to the world by tagging people, the more entries into the prize draw, because we want to reward that. So we will be announcing the winner in January, on January the 4th to be exact, so that keep your eyes peeled to see if you are the winner. And if you want to know what you're entering and where you will be coming to for the weekend, then you can go over to That Retreat Place. It's a Facebook page, or thatretreatplace.com is the website to view our beautiful retreat venue and Spanish home that we open up for people to enjoy. So the other things you need to go away with from tonight is, number one, knowing that you have not just set goals next year that are one-sided, and recognizing that you are a woman with multi considerations when it comes to being completely fulfilled, and making sure that you have categories in your goal setting system, picking one goal for each category and making sure you then have a list of things that need to happen for you to hit that goal. That becomes your master plan. It goes in your planner. This is the one I like. And then that is revisited each month to make sure that you've planned the activity you've committed to into the planner every month, and then you know that you're on the right track. Reviewing every month alongside planning to make sure that what you're planning is still relevant, because master plans can change. Mine change and evolve on a regular occasion. It's very annoying because you put it in your diary and it's all pretty, and I hate having to cross things out. So I end up creating a new one from scratch rather than crossing it out. So bear that in mind. You might want to write yours on paper and slide it into your planner rather than writing it in if you're like me and crossing out. And Tipex makes everything feel really untidy. And lastly, what you need to know is that 2021 is going to be such an incredible year. In every sense of the word, from a business perspective, the opportunity that will present itself in 2021 for people that get up, dust themselves off, grab opportunities, forge forward where people are still laid down and pulling back and feeling beaten up. The business athletes of the world that are already back on their feet and ready to go. You're going to be the people that are mopping up the opportunities in 2021 on an energetic level and a spiritual level. We've been through a year of major change, major cleanse, major refocus. It's challenged our souls to let go of what we thought and to realise that we need to live from a different place. And we've seen that play out as a collective, and you'll see it play out in like a mini version in your own life. There's been challenges that none of us would have wished for in 2020. People have lost their life, people have lost their loved ones, people have cancelled things they've looked forward to for years, special occasions, memories that could have been made have been put on hold, time lost with people and loved ones, and none of us would wish or plan for that. But if we believe that it's part of the grand design in making us better and forming a deeper understanding of who we are and what we're here to do and how to treat ourselves and the planet around us, and then there is so much to gain from 2020 and so much wisdom to take through to 2021 with us, and so much opportunity to create. And I just know it's going to be incredible because we are through the worst of that change and those lessons. And next year is going to be about rebuilding. Not putting back together what was, but rebuilding something brand new because of the tough times that we fell on in 2020. And that's really, really exciting. And I hope that I've equipped you with the best possible shot at planning 2021 and achieving in 2021. Don't forget, enter the competition, and I will see you on Monday the 4th. That will be the next time that you'll see me here like this with a very special announcement about what we as a team are going to be doing for you guys going into the new year to make it even easier for you to get our help with tapping into your divine guidance and building a business strategy that changes your life and the world around you. So keep your eyes peeled in the new year for all the new stuff that's coming out for you, and totally free, just to support everybody collectively, regardless of where you are and regardless of your budget going into 2021. If I don't see you before that, have the most incredible Christmas and a happy, happy new year. Lots of love.